It's a trap. It actually is a trap. It's a trap.
I'm dying to see what America's going to do to this. I'll use my favorite word again, clusterfuck, 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 clusterfuck.
But guess what? We got a lot to do. You gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
If we look at a subset of smokers who are otherwise unable or unwilling to quit, they're going to continue to smoke that pack of cigarettes. Half of them will die prematurely later in life from that decision. If we could get all of those people to completely switch all of their cigarettes for one of these non-combustible products, that would be good for public health.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome, and hello to the Saturday pre-show. This is the pre-show for Saturday because it's Friday night. So, Kevin did show up at the very last second. He's in the back room. I'm gonna make him sit there for just a second while I say hello to all the wonderful people. Mallory was first, as you see at the beginning of the show. Her comment was there. Jason is here. Steve is here. Addie's here. Let me scroll down over here. I got to see who else is here. James R. is here, and Michael Redfern is here, and Omicidal is here, and Michelle Elliott is here. Hello, everyone that is here. There's other people that are here, because I can see you lurking over there. But tonight, we have an exceptional show. Lots of things planned. Some supercut videos that I've put together. There's two really decently, probably long videos for me and Kevin to go over and talk to, but they're going to be towards one of them is going to be at the end of the main show, and one of them is at the beginning of the Rumble show because there's content on there too hot for some places. But I am not wearing today is a throwback show. I played an old Mitch Zeller clip, and I'm wearing the goat hat today, not the Oilers hat, but we still have a hat, and I'm wearing my Death Wish coffee baseball jersey because I'm all hopped up and wired because my wife is out of town for the next 2 weeks, and I'm a bachelor in practice only, not in real life. But I can eat what I want, drink what I want, and I can be naughty on the air, but not in real life because I'm a good boy. But anyway, let me find Kevin's pointy Kevin here. Let's play Pointy Kevin so we can introduce Kevin.
You're a sad little man. You are.
Oh, and by the way, tonight's show is dedicated to the brainwashing playbook. We will be going over some of the brainwashing playbook tonight. I have a fairly decent middling sized video of an ex-KGB agent talking about how they have a strategy for taking down America from 1984, Kevin. The video is from 1984. And you see I have 1984 quote scrolling across the bottom of the screen here.
No, yeah. So,
and I have another video. And I already tweeted a shortened version of the longer video that we're going to play tonight, which is still a shortened version from the original version of RFK talking about the tactics they used to try to cancel him.
Brainworms. So, did you edit some of the features you sent me? Because I looked at that And I thought, what are we going to have? Like a 3-part show? What are you doing? What?
Calmate, Kevin. Calmate. There's a buzzing. Are you hearing a buzzing, Kevin?
No, wait a second. Is there a buzzing now?
No, the buzzing is gone. What was that buzzing?
This? That's my fan.
Yeah, your fan is really psyching up the static.
Oh, well. It'll be all right.
Like it's tremendously buzzing.
There.
Well, Jason would know Jason. If it was your butt plug.
It's got Glance's face on it. Are you upset?
So what was your week like, Kevin?
I got a hug from my grandson extra today, and I loved it. That concluded the week.
That would be a highlight
for the whole week.
Oh man, I had a shitty week, man. So
yeah,
last Saturday, my wife said, "Hey, we need to go to Best Buy," which is always a bad for us when we go to Best Buy because lots of money leaves out of bank accounts when we go to Best Buy. So my wife insisted that I buy a new phone, so she bought me a new Samsung phone that flips this way. Oh shit, Kevin, there it is again.
Damn it. Oh, I know why, because I got it hooked up to the same USB. Keep going.
So I got this new little Star Trek flip phone sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, I'm sitting here, I'm watching YouTube videos and doing stuff, and I notice it's kind of warm in the house. So I look at the thermostat. It's 79 degrees in the house, and the AC is blowing. Not cold air. So I call the AC guy. He comes by on Sunday, and he's like, dude, this is like the 4th time I've come out to fix a patch in this coil.
I remember you telling me, is there a buzzing now?
Yes.
God damn it. All right. Well, I guess I'll just get hot, and when I'm done being hot, I'll just turn off. There you go.
Yeah. Get you one of those little hand fans. You've got an unshielded cable there or something, dude.
Hang on.
That's
Keep
really
going.
Fucking you up.
So the air guy.
There it is again. So the air guy says, he's a really nice guy. He's always been pretty fair with his pricing with me, and he says, he says, I really don't think we should patch this again. This is like the 4th time. And it's not in the coil, it's in the copper that goes into the coil.
Oh, yeah.
So, the whole, and so anyway, I had to pay $3,500 for a new AC unit, which was a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. So that happened, and then the wife took her final exam on Monday and had a bout of test anxiety and did very poorly on her exam, which would have been really bad, but we did all of the extra credit work, so she just had enough extra credit to squeak by with a B. But yeah, drama filled week, and then obviously she had to go to the Philippines at the last minute, so that was that, So, but here we are. We're here now. Everything worked out in the end. New AC. Wife got a B. It was the A that she was really shooting for, and we're here, Kevin, and we have material to play. But hey, Kev, I got this little short video that has nothing to do with anything, but I want you to tell me. So yeah, well, we'll talk about it after I play it. So here, it's only 58 seconds.
I'm going to ask the Justice Department, and I'm going to ask the President to tell us what they're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses. I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with, who are training up in the hills somewhere and targeting, what communities they're going to attack. If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store,
at a gasoline station. You get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome. I will go and take Trump out tonight. You got to get more confrontational. You got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
Does it have to
expire, sir? If you need to respect the chair and shut your mouth.
So that was Maxine Waters. I think she's a representative from California, Kevin. And the first video where she was talking about demanding that the Department of Justice do some surveillance and find out about all these people up in the hills because they're going to do violence if Biden loses. But she's the one that's been traveling all over the country for the past, 8 years or so, demanding that everybody be violent.
Inciting violence.
Yes. I just saw that and I was like, I'm going to make a little clip about that just because that lady is a crazy, crazy woman.
It's hard to watch the criminally insane stay in power. It really is. Anyway.
And it saddens me that my friends in California, I'm sure that none of my friends elected her, but that she's been elected in a state that I do have a few, even though I'm very anti-California, I do have some friends that live there. I mean, to be clear... To be clear,
anti-California.
I am a little
just
anti-California. Yeah.
In contradiction in terms. I don't like stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jason. Maybe somebody was tired of listening to her shit or something. I didn't know she did.
No, she didn't. That video, the very first video where she's wearing the green dress was this week.
Oh fuck.
She ain't dead. You're crazy.
Her and Nancy have bets.
She's one of those. She's one of those people that'll live forever just because
Crypt keeper.
Yeah. Did you not see her? I mean,
literally tales from the crypt. Her and Pelosi.
She looks like
both.
she's already freeze-dried.
Yeah.
Now, Jason. Just because we don't like her doesn't mean that we wish death upon her.
He didn't say he wished death upon her. He was unhappy, and now he's happy that he doesn't hear my sound.
Well, no, he says, well, shit, that sucks. To be clear, I mean, we just don't want her elected. We just want her, at home.
Michelle, and Mallory in the same room. Look at that.
Yeah. But hey, Kevin,
she's fucking criminally insane either way.
Our brothers and sisters to the north in America's hat, Canada.
Them freaking Canadians.
So apparently there's a press release here that says 30,000 Canadians say no to banning flavored vapor products.
Yes.
I mean, that's 30,000 people. That's like the whole country. I mean, other than the polar bears and the mooses and stuff.
They were getting penguins to sign.
Yeah. So it says here, in a move that will result in a public health crisis for Canada, Minister of Health Mark Holland announced in March that he plans to push through regulations announced 3 years ago to ban all flavors of vapor products except mint, menthol, and tobacco. Well, at least those Canadians can get mint, menthol because that not here. However, Canadians who vape and their allies have made it clear that this is unacceptable. I'm surprised they didn't say, something like
not very nice.
They are Canadians and they're, very polite.
That's unnice.
that unacceptable is not really the type of language I would have expected. I would have thought they would have said, no, we really don't like that. Please,
leave my Canucks alone.
Please change your mind, please. Because they're very.
Don't rile up the rodent. I think he's up there.
Yeah. No, he's not. I thought he was one of my friends in California. I thought he was one of the people that I was hoping would survive the earthquake.
I don't know. It's so hard sometimes to know.
Well, the only other thing is the Canadians, they can't spell words like flavor. They throw an extra U in there, just like they do in color, But anyway, if the flavor ban goes through, we can guarantee a few things like, hosers. Flavors will continue to be available in Canada because, there's a thing called a black market, and they won't be regulated, safe, or taxed. Many of these are those who vape will find a way, as the alternative is likely the resumption of inhaling toxic cigarette smoke. We'll drive down to southern Toronto to Niagara and get them in America or at the Indian reservation there. The criminals operating the vaping black market will prosper. People who smoke but could have found vaping a viable alternative will continue smoking and dying. Oh, I'm sorry. I was doing the Canadian bit there during Maria, and I can never say Maria's name. I feel really bad about this, but Maria is our friend on Twitter.
Don't want to try. Don't know how to say it.
Maria, spokesperson for Rights for Vapors, Canada's largest vapors rights movement, has said. Rights for Vapors has provided people who vape a way to have their voices heard. Canadians who oppose the flavor ban can go to www.rightsforvapors.com to send a letter to their MP, as well as Ministers Holland and Sachs. Anyway, the group will be across from Parliament Hill on Wednesday, May 8th, to answer questions about vaping. Everyone is invited. See, that's the more Canadian, the very polite. Mm-hmm. Everyone is invited.
Remember Ray Gates.
Yep. Close to 30,000 Canadians have sent a letter to Ministers Holland and Sachs to tell them that flavors matter, said Miss Papa Anoy. And I'm not saying it right. I apologize, Maria. And we are not done. Minister Holland will have no choice but to listen to us. It has been 3 years since Health Canada published the initial flavor ban regulations in Canada Gazette 1. Over 20,000 Canadians participated in the public consultation and opposed the ban. As a result, Health Canada did not move forward with the regulations. To revive them 3 years later is an abuse of the process. Much has changed in Canada, including the flavor ban fiasco in Quebec. In October of 2023, the Quebec government banned all flavors in the province without any plans for enforcement. Today, anyone, including minors, can buy flavored vapor products on the black market. We actually have quite a few pieces tonight that discuss the black market, Kevin. I didn't know if you actually looked at the show notes, but and a couple of the pieces, Kevin, did get trimmed or are duplicates of the same story. I just put them on there to show that it was being reported by multiple outlets.
All right.
Especially the AI story, Kevin. The AI science study is going to be... That's the new thing, Kevin. But at the very least, Health Canada should have had another public consultation. All they did was invite representatives of the industry for Zoom meetings. Rights for Vapors was the only representative of Canadians who vape. It was a disgrace. Flavors matter to adults who vape. Flavors help people who smoke switch to vaping. And then there's a there's an address and times for this event. So those Canadians are fired up, Kevin.
Good.
Good job, Canadians. Now, did you know, Kevin?
I know me, yes.
Well, that the FDA is an organization that approves medicine to help sick people.
It authorizes.
No, medicines they approve.
Oh, they do approve. I thought they authorize.
Cigarettes they authorize.
It's all in the wording. Go ahead. Keep going.
So, yeah, different process. But anyway, they have, now, speaking of the authorized, approved sort of conundrum here, Kevin. They have, let me just share it. You're just going to think this is better than the bee's knees, Kevin. This is...
I love bee's knees. Oh,
yeah. So the FDA has approved a new medication to help people quit vaping.
You fucking retards. Oh,
So,
yeah. Every one of you that thought of this.
You know, all these people who are saying that nicotine is more addictive than heroin. So all they did, Kevin, all they did was they took a medication that was approved for smoking cessation that we already know is only like 6% successful.
Yeah.
And then just said, "Oh, well, it'll help people quit vaping as well because this is also used to help people quit smoking." Yeah. So it says here, the first drug that helps vapors quit using e-cigarettes may be nearing FDA approval. Researchers at Massachusetts General Hospital have found that a plant-based drug called citinicline, that word there, shows tremendous promise for calming the urge to vape. Citinicline, I'm saying it again, has already shown an ability to help smokers give up traditional tobacco cigarettes. Study authors note that 11 million adults in the U.S. use e-cigarettes, specifically to vape nicotine. However, roughly half of them have expressed an interest in quitting, according to researchers. Despite their desire to kick the habit, studies show, or continue to show, the powerfully addictive effect of using nicotine. So anyway, in the new study published by in JAMA, Internal Medicine, researchers conducted a double-blind randomized clinical trial involving 160 adults who vape but didn't smoke cigarettes for 12 weeks. The participants either took this pill or a harmless placebo. Results show that taking the actual pill were more than twice as likely to quit vaping by week 9 than those that took placebo. 31.8% versus 15.1%. The team also found that participants suffered very few, if any, side effects from the plant-based drug. No medication has been approved by the FDA for vaping cessation in the United States, said lead author Nancy Rigotti. We've seen her name quite a few times over the years. Kevin, Nancy Rigotti.
Yeah.
Our study indicates that sit in a clean might be an option to fill this gap and help adult vapors to stop using e-cigarettes. So if 15%, yes, Michael says it, 15% quit vaping without, any actual pharmaceutical assistance, Kevin, is it really that hard? If 15%?
Hey, I got a really stupid fucking question. Did they figure out how to get people to stop smoking?
Well, okay, it's already been approved. It's already been approved for that, Kevin.
What, this?
Yes, this same drug
for smoking
is already being used to help smokers quit smoking.
And what's the rate?
At 6%.
Is it the same? Is it
6 or 7%? So it is slightly better. It is better.
Yeah.
Than to help people quit vaping. So doesn't that prove that vaping is less addictive than smoking?
Well, that's conjecture, Your Honor.
If this same medicine is 30% at helping people quit vaping, but it's only 7% at getting people to quit smoking, wouldn't that mean that smoking is less addictive or is more addictive than vaping? I want to be clear, Kevin, what the numbers actually say.
I have a sidebar. Is plant-based like science-based? Is that like in quotations, or can it?
Well, I think they're doing that because they want everybody to know that it's more safe. Natural and holistic, Kevin. That's the word that they like to use these days.
Here's what I like.
Next they're going to say that it's organic.
They can commercialize stupidity to stop people from not smoking. What is the rates of those people going back to smoking?
Well, that would and it does say later on that the results from this show that there needs to be more robust research. So please sign us another check. Please sign us another check. Is what that means. Yeah.
Plant-based product.
Plant-based.
Makes it sound good, though.
Yeah.
I always appreciate things like that.
But yeah, I mean, heroin does come from a plant. Jason is correct. It is also plant-based.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
See?
So there is an e-liquid company that makes a liquid, and I can't remember. I think it's called like the something of the poppy.
No idea.
And that always made me cringe because obviously it sort of kind of alludes to heroin because poppy. And I'm just like, you really shouldn't make a liquid called the cream of the poppy or the something of the poppy. It's not a good idea.
Yeah. But
they still make it.
Did I? No, never mind. We'll find out.
What?
Oh, I think I sent you something with children and cessation, if I remember correctly.
Everything that you now there was one thing that you included that was 5 years old, Kevin.
Good.
The very first thing that you sent after last week's show is a study from 5 years ago.
Yes. And your point?
Well, it's from 5 years ago.
Let's go. Go.
So anyway, this says new cocaine.
Oh, wow. New ones. Nice.
Yeah, this is smuggled vapes will become as profitable to criminal gangs as drugs, warned crime expert. The expert warns the new crackdown on vapes risks fueling a massive criminal black market. Hey, Kevin.
What?
Are you and I criminal black market, crime experts?
Well, we certainly support that effort if it's necessary for our cause. Yes.
Well, but I mean, we are not experts.
I don't believe I'm an expert in anything.
But we've been warning of this massive black market that will appear when bans
we
are
have
implemented.
More like a hand on the pulse of the nation and in general of the population of the world. But that's what we have. We don't actually have expertise.
I don't think it takes some sort of PhD in crime science to figure this shit out.
Oh, it's a couple clown chuckleheads that'll tell you. That's all.
Smuggled vapes will become as profitable to criminal gangs as drugs, a crime expert warns. It will be illegal to sell or buy disposable vapes from early next year under Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's crackdown. A criminologist, James Martin, warned this risks fueling a massive criminal black market in the products as it has in his native Australia. Dr. Martin, a lecturer at Melbourne's Deakin University, said the profits from the UK black market will be comparable to hard drugs and the gangs are licking their lips. I don't know if I want to think about biker gangs licking their lips, Kevin, but anyway, they want the disposables ban. He added, in Australia, biker gangs buy disposable vapes from China for $3 and sell them for $30. That's a good markup right there. No amount of enforcement will stop people trying to access those profits. Nope. It says here, in the UK, you already have county lines gangs with their supply lines in place who will sell vapes through encrypted WhatsApp groups and have them to your door in an hour. This ban creates a huge opportunity, and there will be many players wanting to get involved. And that is what will lead to turf wars. Yeah. You can't sell your strawberry cream here. This is my territory. How dare you encroach on my cotton candy pipeline?
That's right.
Mark Oates, founder of the pro-vaping campaign group We Vape, said, it seems extraordinary we have Australian law enforcement and experts warning our government not to make the same mistakes they have, and we are pressing blindly on. A government spokesperson said, we are boosting investment in our enforcement agencies by £30 million per year. 30 million. Yeah, that's pounds. Yeah, 30 million pounds per year. It's a lot of money, Kevin. But when you make stuff illegal, we've mentioned this before on this show. When you make something illegal and you make cops have to enforce a law, all that does is increase the negative police community interactions. That's just one more crime that the police are going to have to enforce or arrest
Eric
you for,
Garner,
or whatever.
Eric Garner, you can correct me if I'm wrong, as always. He bought cigarettes that were taxed, went to New York and sold untaxed cigarettes and died.
Recordings just got better.
I have no idea if the cigarettes that Eric Garner bought were
I
whether
bet you
they were tax
stamped. I bet they were. I don't know.
I don't know anything about that. But I had thought that there was something illegal about them because that's what initiated the police interaction. Oh no, there was also discussion that there was a counterfeit 20 involved.
Oh, I thought that was the other guy.
There was another. Okay.
I thought that was
Eric
Garner was in New York.
Counterfeit 20 though.
No, that was the guy that died with his foot on his neck or something.
I thought Eric Garner was the one that got his.
Eric Garner was in New York City.
Which one was the one that I Can't Breathe? I thought that was Eric Garner.
No.
Oh, okay.
I think he also said that, but I don't recall from that part.
Okay.
Michael said
it does get confusing after a while, but here, look at this.
What?
Well, for the 10th year in a row, the CDC reports that e-cigarettes are the most commonly used tobacco product among middle and high school students.
Well, not that we want them to be using any of these products, Kevin, but thank God they're not smoking a deadly cigarette that will kill their asses eventually.
Nationwide. Some West Michigan school districts tell us that teen vaping on campus is their top problem, and some devices contain nicotine or...
All right. The top problem in West Michigan is teen vaping. There's no illicit drugs in school.
No drinking.
There's no violence in school. I mean, West Michigan, I don't know where Detroit is in relation to the state, Kevin.
Don't have any idea.
But I would imagine that gang violence might be in there. I know that there's a massive population or influx of people, of Muslims that have moved in, and I know that there's some tension there. But vaping is the most problematic of all of the potential problems that they could be having. This is the one.
All in the wording.
Yeah.
Or even marijuana. Jessica Hartman investigates tonight in tonight's crisis in the classroom.
From bathrooms to the classrooms, it's taking place at schools across the country.
It's addiction that's hitting not just high school, but middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders now.
How we doing, buddy?
At Bangor Public Schools, school resource officer.
Now, I thought Bangor was in Maine. Isn't that where Stephen King's from?
There is a Bangor, Maine. Yeah.
Maybe there's one in Michigan, too.
Paul Leonard says his first year on the job has been busy.
I get a couple.
Yeah, definitely the patch on his arm said Bangor, but the mitten was there. I saw the mitten, Kevin.
Couple phone calls almost every week, whether or not it's a juvenile who is has a vape pen or has been caught vaping.
Now, that guy looks like a juvenile to me, Kevin.
Well,
Kids will try and hide their vape pens up here.
Officer Leonard tells us he regularly searches lockers for e-cigarettes that can contain nicotine or marijuana.
Usually they try to stick them between the sides down here or up down here as well.
He even put locks on the hand dryers in the bathrooms.
That way they can't rotate it up to let the smoke go through the vents.
Teen vaping has gotten so out of hand, the high school locker rooms are
Now, for those of you kids that don't go to this guy's school, you now know how to use the hand blower thingy to push the vape into the AC vent and not the detectors.
Helpful hints
Now
from your
locked.
local dumbass police officer.
with only administrators having access.
What was that? Now they've locked. What is this? Let's go back here.
Is that the bathroom?
That could
Out
be
of
a bathroom.
hand, the high school locker rooms are now locked
Locker room.
No, locker.
with only administrators having access.
Nobody can get in. Once you scan in, then you can go in.
You know, I always
Bangor
appreciate it
Public
when they
School-
show me how to open a fucking door.
Yeah. You know, I'm sure
Thank
that
God.
there's no kids at this school that know how to go onto eBay and buy magnetic cards that are unlocked. They do make them. No kids have figured that shit out.
School Superintendent Lynn Johnson says that he also tightened hall pass time to just 4 minutes and banned cell phone use in the classrooms this year.
So 4 minutes to go to the walk all the way to the bathroom, depending on where it is. Drop trowel, sit down, and push out whatever you need to push out.
Jimmy,
4
Jimmy,
minutes.
Jimmy, why do you have shit on the back of your pants? Well, I'm on time. You can't tell me I'm not on time.
Yeah. 4 minutes to drop a deuce, Kevin. I'm sorry, but
Oh my God.
I'm an old man, and sometimes I go in there to read a book while I'm there because that's like the only alone time or whatever. But you know, just
I don't. These people are out of their fucking minds. They're out of their.
He tells us vaping is just one reason why up to 5% of students are late every morning at both the middle and high school.
I'm seeing a big dependence on ones that do it. They can't survive without it, it seems like.
It's definitely an addiction.
Yes?
That's
they can't
conjecture.
survive
That's what that's
without
called.
it, Kevin.
5%
don't
are
know.
late because of vaping.
I mean,
that's why.
Michael said he couldn't do it. He couldn't do 4 minutes even at 16. That's because while he was there, you know, he might as well.
Oh, stop!
Was saying, you know, it's hanging there. You might as well, you know.
The side effects.
At Coldwater
The side effects.
Community Schools, vaping has become so commonplace. Superintendent Paul Flynn says that this year they've confiscated enough to fill these 2 large boxes. He says e-cigarettes can look like USB flash drives, pens, and other everyday items, making them hard for parents to spot.
There are weeks where we have incidents on a daily basis. It is definitely an issue with today's youth.
The district expects to receive more than $46,000 in settlement
There you
funds
go.
from e-cigarette maker Juul over the next 4 years.
Where's my money?
There you go.
You know, they got this cool mint over here, limited edition, Kevin. You see that? Yeah, that's old shit right there.
Yeah.
The plan is to use that money to install 12 vape detectors in the high school this summer. Right now, they're testing out this model in the high school boys' bathroom. They work similar to a smoke detector, but the superintendent says the system is not perfect.
In order not to get caught, they'll just flush them down the toilets.
Both school districts tell us they're now partnering with local health departments and outside counseling agencies, saying the solution starts at home.
Our
Patrick.
goal is to kind of help them, guide them.
What?
If
I
they're-
was refreshing
if they're
my drink already.
If they're addicted, why would they flush them down the toilet?
Well, I mean, so that they won't get caught if they hear
Oh.
you know.
Well, then they're going to go rob somebody and steal
I mean,
theirs. All right.
When I was a kid back in the day, we always had a lookout. You know.
Well, yeah. We use the word shady, like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
So the lookout says, "Oh, teacher's coming." Then you flush. You know.
It's
We were smoking.
difficult to get through to kids and really make a difference. So that's the biggest part. No matter what we try, are we doing enough?
And students caught with a vaping device in Bangor are suspended up to 10 days and then issued a minor in possession ticket. In Coldwater Community School.
Man, minor in possession ticket, Kevin. 10 days at home, so I don't have to put up with the teachers. I don't know if I would have minded that so much. I mean,
Well, you
I
wouldn't
guess
have
if
to
you
think
do that
it.
twice, though,
Yeah.
if you do that twice, you don't get to graduate on time.
Well,
Because you have, 20 unexcused absences when I was in school meant you didn't graduate or you didn't pass.
well, those aren't unexcused, are they?
Well, I would assume that if it's a violation that that counts on your 20.
It's a mandated removal. I'd fight that.
I would assume that means.
Wait a minute. You told me I had to leave. I didn't voluntarily leave.
Unless they send you home with your schoolwork and you have to do it while you're out.
There you go. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how this shit works
Exactly,
anymore.
Mallory.
I haven't been in school in like 30 years, Kevin. I mean,
right?
No, like 34 years.
Yeah.
But here's another school one.
We have an update on Pitt County Schools' vape crackdown. They talked about it at a Board of Education meeting tonight. Now, your side's Nye Remy went to that meeting. So, Nye, where are these vape detectors going to go?
Well, Courtney, the Board of Education approved putting vape detectors in all middle and high school bathrooms in the Pitt County School District. The executive director of Pitt County Schools says restrooms seem to be where most students use vape.
The Keystone State, Kevin.
Just ban bathrooms and everything will be fine.
This is the keystone that holds the whole country together. Isn't that what Pennsylvania is?
Supposedly, yeah.
That's like the whole the foundation of freedom and all that shit. And
yeah,
okay.
And
Freedom Hall.
So this is what they're doing, Kevin. They tell the kids we have to put these surveillance things up in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Eventually, they say we're going to put cameras outside the bathroom doors, if not in the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just making all of these children and their parents and everybody comfortable living with surveillance always around them.
Psychotic nanny state.
I mean, this is just one step
your,
in the
your own
larger
good
strategy.
It's for your own good.
Yeah. Just saying.
And Erickson says sometimes the student would flush the vape pen down in the toilet, and
that's the same talking point that we just heard from Michigan.
Really familiar, yeah.
Huh.
Cause plumbing problems. School officials say plumbers would go to schools at least 2 to 3 times a week to fix the issue.
Now that says right there, THCA, diamond infused with mushroom. So not only is it THC, Kevin, but it's got mushroom in it. I can't see what's under the finger. But I know that says mushroom.
Money.
So is it supposed to make people think that it's like peyote or ayahuasca or any of these other?
Whoever's in the room, tell me that this is compatible in price with regular vaping products. I thought they were like much higher, like 3 or 4 times higher for THC.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never purchased one, Kevin. They're not legal here in Texas.
Right.
And even if it was legal, I would not still be allowed to use it because of my profession.
And then if they are much higher, how are these kids getting that money?
Because mom and dad don't ever fucking say no. Michael Redford says $35 for a disposable THC pen.
And regular disposable vapes are
Vape?
what, $10?
I have no idea.
12,
I've never bought one of those either.
15, I don't know.
They say that's one way they're using the money from the Jew settlement funding.
Again, Blue Lotus, whatever the fuck that is, with THCA diamond. So all of this stock footage, this other one over here says Delta 10 plus CBN plus live resin, whatever that means.
Well,
so none of this is nicotine vaping, Kevin. All of this stock footage that they're using is THC, Delta 10, whatever Blue Lotus is.
Well. School officials say when the device detects vapor, it will alert principals, administrators, and the school resource officer.
Is to protect the students from the habit of vaping, which is bad for your health, as well as to protect the buildings and the plumbing system from the damage caused by
not to help protect your students.
No, he just said it was to protect the plumbing.
Right.
Yeah, he just said it.
He said protect the students.
But then directly after that, he said, and to protect our fucking plumbing. He didn't say fucking, but you know what I'm saying.
He also says the vape detectors that were approved tonight will be programmed and installed by the next school year. The cost is about $104,000, which includes the software to detect the...
Patrick, listen, you and I are going to have a board meeting, and we're going to decide that we're going to spend $60,000 on vape detection, right? And it's a mess. these fucking kids got to stop vaping right the fuck now, right? That's what we've decided. We've made the vote. We spent the money, but we're going to wait until next year to get them installed.
Well, I mean,
because it's such a rush to do. You got to wait.
The school year is coming around, and you don't want a bunch of like dudes like hanging vape detectors in the girls' bathroom while they're pooping. Not that girls poop, but
they're all full of shit.
Well, that's because they don't poop. But anyway,
Vapor in the newsroom. Remy 9 on your side.
Exactly, Michael.
Bang. So there was that, Kev.
You're wearing me out already.
Yeah. We're almost down to the rumble, Kevin.
I'm too tired to point. We are. You put like 73 links in that fucking message.
No, I think you're probably looking at last week and this week. There wasn't as many.
Oh, all right. Well,
and I edited out one from 5 years ago. Then we do have some tweets. There's a couple tweets, Kevin.
All right.
But those won't take very long. But we do have one here from your favorite or your second favorite Dick.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Your second favorite Dick. Dick Durbin demands FDA testimony on unauthorized vape sales. The Senate Judiciary Committee chair accused regulators of slow walking a crackdown on e-cigarette manufacturers as they skirt the federal approval process.
It's just one of them sternly worded letters that you've spoken.
This is a sternly worded letter, Kevin.
I've stolen that phrase.
What?
I stole that phrase.
Well, I've been saying it for a long time. So
I know, and I took it.
Oh, okay.
It's mine. I don't know who you stole it from, but I took it.
I'm sure I stole it from somebody. After months of pressure from lawmakers to prevent the unauthorized sale of vaping devices, federal regulators may soon, Kevin, have to explain themselves before Congress.
We'll get to it.
Now, Kevin, do you not remember? Now, do you not remember a while ago there was a lawsuit and it went to a court and the judge told the FDA that they had fucked up and that they were going to have to go back and reconsider those applications, blah, 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 because they were arbitrary and capricious. Remember that?
Yes.
And the FDA spokesperson replied, well, we're going to deny them anyway.
We don't care.
Remember that?
I do.
Just, So does Dick Durbin actually think that he's got more pull than those judges?
He's pulling something, but it's not the judges.
Well, I think he's
it's
pulling
not the
his
FDA.
name. I think Senate Majority Whip, Kevin. I don't like to say whip and dick in the same sentence, but Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin, who chairs the Senate Judiciary Committee, has long urged the FDA to follow through on court-ordered review of pre-market tobacco product applications from e-cigarette manufacturers. The U.S. Court for the District of Maryland mandated the survey, ruling in 2019 that the FDA had run afoul of federal law by allowing unauthorized vape sales. The review was supposed to be completed by 2021. Durbin, in a January firmly worded letter, Kevin, accused the agency of granting a free pass to scores of vaping products that are harming the health of children in our country. Now the Illinois Democrat is angling to haul FDA officials before Congress. He demanded in a letter Tuesday that Brian King, director of the agency's Center for Tobacco Products, testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee.
That's
demanded,
right.
Kevin.
Get out of your basement, Brian. Get your ass down here.
Now, it says here, Durbin extended a similar invite to Brian Boynton, the Principal Deputy Assistant Attorney General for the Justice Department's Civil Division. Federal law enforcement is tasked with assisting the FDA in bringing enforcement for violations of the Tobacco Control Act, which includes marketing authorization for vape manufacturers. So, Kevin, do you think that maybe the Justice Department might have something more to do than run around after vape people? We have something like 14 million illegal aliens that crossed the border sometime this year alone.
Are you saying that you don't want them going into school bathrooms? Is that what you're telling me, Patrick?
Well,
because this is a scourge.
I would prefer that they really go after those violent offenders, those people that have really broken, serious laws, like before they start sending the Justice Department after like mom and pop vape shop owners. Just saying that there might be some priority to certain other crimes. Is all I'm getting at, Kevin.
Yeah. Protecting cigarettes is a challenge, Patrick, and they have to uphold that.
Yeah.
So
Durbin met with Boynton and King in April during a private meeting to discuss the enforcement of unauthorized e-cigarettes. If the officials agree to testify publicly, the Judiciary Committee will hold a hearing in June. A spokesperson for the FDA did not immediately respond to a request for comment on whether it would comply with the request. So up here, he demanded in a letter, but down here, it's a request.
Well, yeah. Verbal masturbation.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, it's written masturbation.
Yeah. In a Tuesday post on X, formerly Twitter, I love how they're Durbin called out. They still want to remind everybody that X used to be Twitter.
It's still fucking Twitter.
It's not, Kevin. It is X. Yeah. If you look at our show notes, it says X of the week. I'm just telling you. Durbin called out the FDA for what he framed as the agency's lack of enforcement of the vaping market. Despite court-ordered deadlines, FDA continues to neglect its responsibility to enforce the removal of e-cigarette products from store shelves that have not proven they are appropriate for the protection of public health. Kevin, I opened the show with Mitch Zeller, the ex-head of the FDA Center for Tobacco Products, who essentially admitted in front of Congress that vaping e-cigarettes was essential for the protection of public health by saying that it would be a net public benefit if people that smoked switched to vaping.
Yeah, but he didn't really mean it.
Well,
and neither did Gottlieb, and neither does Brian, and none of them give a fuck.
They're just going to say that the statements from our ex-head of our agency, that's anecdotal, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What they want, and this is really clear and simple, they want it defined. They changed the definition of a chemical to tobacco. They want, and so far to my knowledge, they don't have the user fees for those items because they're not really cigarettes, and you can't really put them under the same thing. And I don't know the legalities, but eventually that's what they're trying to wiggle their way into getting this to be user fees like they have cigarettes. And the only ones big enough to do that are obviously those who've already been approved or authorized or let in the door because you ain't in the fucking club. So fuck them. That's what that is.
So Kev, the last sentence here, it says, according to November data from the Centers for Disease Control. Now, it says roughly 12.6% of high school students reported using tobacco products in 2023. So they're saying roughly, but they're being very specific with the 0.6. So if I was going to give a rough estimate of something and say the number was 12.6, I wouldn't say roughly 12.6. I would say roughly 13%.
Yeah, I'd round up.
But if you add the 0.6, you're really destroying the idea that that's a rough number because it's very specific.
It's also in the wording because those aren't tobacco products, although they're defined as tobacco products. So now they can say that they're all using tobacco products.
Well, but
it's
then
all bullshit.
The next sentence,
it's every bit of it.
The next sentence, Kevin, says around 10% of that figure is from e-cigarettes. So they're saying that.
What is the national non-smoking era? Is 5, right? So effectively, we've obliterated smoking among teens.
Yes, because it's only like 2.6% according to this.
Yeah, it's
roughly.
Over. There's no cigarette. There's no new generation coming in to fulfill those requirements for that money.
Yeah,
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah.
Did you see Dan came in here?
I did not. Hi, Dan.
See? No.
There's still more people that are not typing in the chat room, Kevin. I can
That's
see
all
the
right.
number.
I don't
know.
mind. I can't see them all, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, I know.
I
Now,
just
this is
appreciate
one that
every
you
one of
sent. I'm assuming this is the one that you sent
Is
that
this
you
5
actually
years
wanted
old?
me to cover because it's not 5 years old.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah. So this one is
you
from our
editing
friends
me?
at Filter.
Yeah.
This is from it says, are nicotine pouches good for kids who vape? Are nicotine patches for kids who vape a good idea?
Let's stop right there. Do you think that's a good idea?
I don't see it's a bad idea.
But Patrick, the nicotine's dangerous. It's addictive.
No. It's Kevin. Nicotine is okay. Nicotine is okay if it's delivered in a delivery method that is sold by big tobacco big pharma.
So, but how are they going to manipulate the public into believing that? Because for years it's as addictive as heroin, pound for pound. You got Jerry, spouting his fucking mouth off all the time,
Kevin,
and all of a sudden now they have to reverse their thoughts and words so they can be portrayed at least as safe.
Well, but
anyway,
Kevin, you've got that whole cognitive dissonance thing going on.
Well, I'm good at it.
because your normal average Joe Blow or Jane Blow or whatever, non-gender conforming name you want to use.
I'll just take Addie's cue. What about their brains? What about their brains? Nicotine brains. What happens?
But Kevin, again,
I'm concerned.
This is FDA approved, Kevin, and it's the gold standard. So it has to be safe. And the average human being, American, they know that these government agencies are perfect and they don't make mistakes. And if they say it's okay, it's okay. Even if it's a brand new medicine to cure a disease that is rapidly spreading across the country, that uses a completely untested and unproven platform as its basis for delivery. As long as the FDA puts their stamp of approval on that product, Kevin.
Well, that was emergency
it's okay.
authorization. That was where emergency.
And if you question that, Kevin, later on you're going to see video that shows you what happens when you
brainworms
when you disagree with them.
I hope if you're not following, and I believe her name is exactly as it's stated there, that you follow her. You don't even have to read this. It didn't matter. I just think it's ironic that this is even coming up, and it has come up, and I've offered that on Twitter multiple times. If these kids are so addicted, just give them some patches and gums. Why not? Tongue in cheek, but I've said that many times.
Kevin, this is little Timmy here. Little Timmy has a patch on.
It'd be easily concealed, and there's a whole bunch of benefits to it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but I mean, Kevin, I for one am not anti-patch.
Neither am I.
But I'm only pro-patch when it's actually, as the science proves, a higher dose nicotine. Because the ones that they're selling right now are like 16 point something percent. They're I mean, the 32 milligram patches, they fucking work. You put 2 of them on, you're ready to go.
Higher nicotine strengths are safe.
All of the science proves, Kevin, that the higher nicotine patches are significantly more successful at helping people that need the nicotine.
And why? Tell me why all our anti-smoking fucktards would not tell the public that.
Because
would the manufacturer
they sell less? They sell fewer patches, Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because if they sell you a 16.7 milligram patch. You have to put 2 of them on, which initially I was told that you couldn't do. I think it says on the package, don't do that.
It did. Don't smoke and don't overdo it.
Right.
And don't.
But now I'm hearing from experts that say, oh, yeah, you can put more than one of those on, and it works fine.
Sure.
So, but then you have to buy twice as many patches, Kevin.
What did Mitch say about one of the safest drugs in the world? It's the delivery system that sucks or something. I'm ad-libbing, of course, but I recall Zeller saying that.
Yeah. But yeah, nicotine is so addictive that it causes brain worms. And you're already putting the patch directly on your skin, so the brain worms get
what I'm after on
the
this
skin, right to the brain.
And you see Michelle saying this is the one she was in. What I'm saying is that they've manipulated the public for 30 years with a multi-billion-dollar lie, and now they have to reverse their own lie. So they're creating a platform or a moment for me to go, you fucking dumbasses, you've done it again. Wonderful.
Here. Well, let's see. There's our friend Skip here. THR advocate Skip Murray in the United States told Filter that underlying causes of youth vaping and other drug use should be given more focus. I agree. They are trying to alleviate stress or depression. She asked me, adding that not all of them are rebelling or experimenting. They're using it as maintenance medicine, Kevin. If we don't address the cause, we're just playing whack-a-mole with the result of that cause, said Murray, who has written for Filter about intersection of youth mental health and school vaping policies. I find it deeply concerning we don't have more conversations about what's going on with the lives of young people. I agree.
Yeah.
Michelle from Florida started vaping or smoking at age 9 after, not vaping, because she's, not that.
She's 21 now.
Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say, yo. Michelle from Florida started smoking at age 9 after listening to adults who said that cigarettes helped them relax. As a child with an undiagnosed anxiety issue, she was always being told to do just that, and the nicotine in cigarettes made it possible. In grade 9, my grades improved when I... In grade 9? Or in the 9th grade. My grades improved when I could smoke before class, she told Filter. I finally had a way of feeling like I fit in with others in my class. I wasn't the outcast from always being in trouble anymore. As an adult, Michelle received a diagnosis for anxiety. I researched what anxiety was and found out how and why the nicotine in cigarettes was helping me. It all came together. I shouldn't be using my angry voice when I'm reading for Michelle. Michelle then tried to quit smoking with NRT, but found it didn't suit her. Her doctor recommended vaping instead, and it worked. A doctor in the United States? Oh, it's Florida, though. So, yeah, I assume that we should be telling kids that if you don't want to vape, because there's some bad things in there for your lungs if you're not, it's not perfect. It's 5% of the harm of cigarettes, maybe.
Yeah.
But, I don't have a problem with it. I think it might help some kids, actually, Kevin.
Carl Phillips said it's less than 0.1%. Less than.
Well, I don't always agree with Carl.
Well, I never did either, but I did hear he's alive.
Never. I said I don't always.
No, I don't always. No, nowhere near
But,
it.
so there's that.
Michelle.
Yeah. So
in the same company with the cranky old broad.
Well, I'm not gonna. Oh, I am. I'm not gonna. I disagree with you referring to our very good friend
and you can
as a cranky old broad.
You do that,
Kevin.
You feel better about yourself and move on about your day. Leave me the fuck alone. She's a cranky old broad.
I'm just saying.
I don't care.
not very appropriate.
She's still 21.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
Oh.
So, are you, Kevin? Do you actually know what time it is?
It's the cat time. Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
It's time for the Vape Cats X of the Week.
Wow! So, Kevin, I've never seen this Twitter account before.
You haven't? Are you following them? Hover your ass up there.
I am now. I found this tweet on my weekly nicotine search for awesome people on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I found this clearing the air. It is @4 clearing the air on the tweet on the Xers. And it says here, anti-nicotine warriors. Sorry, but this is misspelled. And perennial Bloomberg philanthropy grant recipients, Parents versus Vape, insinuating that E-Valley was caused by vaping nicotine rather than illegal cannabis vapes containing vitamin nicotine. Fortunately, this is a claim, an easy claim to refute.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's our Wild West quote down here again, Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
Pew, pew. And then slammed with community notes.
Well,
I love this. I love the community.
So do I, Jason. So do I.
What was that? I didn't. Oh, I never look at your fucking work. Jason messaged me like 8 times telling me that he was drunk. He was that I should get drunk and I should get drunk. And I can't do my show.
Did he talk about his butt plug? Because anyway,
no, he didn't. But I'm sure. We saw his wife when you were gone, and his wife was. She walked behind the camera when you were gone, Kevin. When he was Kevin, not Kevin.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So you should be following clearing the airs. All I'm saying, Kevin.
That's what you should do.
Fighting the good fight.
You may could or might.
But then I saw this other tweet.
Yeah.
This other tweet says, a functional medicine doctor I know has been prescribing small amounts of nicotine to treat long COVID. That word. Using nicotine patches and cutting them up in quarters and having patients apply them once a day for a week or two. Apparently, it has been very successful. So there's a thing here. Apparently, this guy here, he's a conservative person. Yeah. Patrick something. His name is Patrick.
No, he's not that bright.
Apparently, Chris Cuomo is now one of his.
Oh fuck.
People.
Oh,
so I did see this and I thought, that's all right. So they're, I can't do it. I can't promote.
For the record, Phil, the rodent has a small thread of around 9,000 fucking tweets about nicotine and that thing.
Yeah. Make sure you just say
9. I'm going to repeat it. 9. Maybe it's 8, but I think it's 9,000 fucking tweet thread.
Uh-huh.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
If you can't figure it out or find it, there it is.
Yeah. So, and then Kevin.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah.
There's this thing that you sent from Sally Sattel.
Oh.
That is a retweet of our friend Clive.
I don't care if it's our friends or not. Intellectual arson on its own by itself is one of the best things I've seen in quite some time on Twitter. Is what I call it. And I just love, I adore Sally Sattel anyway, but I just love that intellectual arson. I'm going to steal that from her.
Yeah. So this is in response to Clive.
Yes.
Who tweets, tobacco control bullies went after the Medscape tobacco harm reduction program like a bunch of righteous arsonists, gleefully burning it down. Not building nothing. The underlying problem of doctors that are clueless about smoking tobacco and nicotine remains. And this was in response to Brad Rodeau.
Can you imagine the level of strength that thread has right there?
So you have Brad, then Clive, then Sally.
Holy crap. Wow. That's power.
All talking about Medscape's tobacco harm reduction program that I had heard, or I had thought I had heard that that they had brought that down. Now I have another tweet.
A man crush on Dr. Rodeau anyway, but in of himself, if you go to his website and you listen to his thoughts and you go, damn, Holy shit! Right?
So this is a tweet that I found.
Yeah.
And then I shared it.
Yeah.
But let me just play the video here.
Presentation. She said, Dr. Artis, 6 months ago, I started putting a 7 milligram nicotine patch on my husband. Within 2 weeks, all of his Parkinson's symptoms disappeared. He is Parkinson's free. He doesn't even have Parkinson's anymore. Our whole life has been changed because you did a presentation on how to beat Parkinson's with nicotine.
So, a 7 milligram nicotine patch. Apparently,
right.
Apparently,
it's a grain of salt.
A man suffering from Parkinson's disease. Now, I myself would not use the word cured.
Correct. I wouldn't either.
I would say has significantly reduced his symptoms, maybe.
It has subsided or something. Yeah.
I would not, has improved his quality of life, maybe, but I would not use the word cured just because. No. But anyway.
No.
And I said, careful. That is phenomenal. Thanks for coming. And I walked over. The husband got up and greeted me and thanked me for all my presentations and research that I've done. His whole life has changed. And I looked at both of them and I said, y'all are really going to enjoy this presentation because in this presentation, I have 4 research studies that nicotine can cure Parkinson's. And I'm going to take all the medical professionals and all the lay people through it.
So, again,
cure. I don't know.
That you could actually, if you're a doctor, I don't know if this guy's a doctor, he could actually get in some deep shit for saying the word cured. That's why I would say the words that I chose. You have to couch your language, especially in public if you're an MD.
Might improve.
I'm not an MD, and I'm still very careful about that because, if the Physical Therapy Association saw me say something like that, they would go, "You can't say that word."
Well, you could lose your license, couldn't you? Ethically,
I could.
Yeah,
so I would never.
Kelly Ann we've had conversations ourselves with her, but she's mentioned that the ethics are huge in Canada and they will take you out, among other people as well. So, but if you're in tobacco control, you can say anything you want. It's nothing matters. It's okay.
So if you've been watching our show for a while, we talk about.
I don't watch our show.
Where you participate in the show. On the Rumble portion of the show, how the frightening explosion of usages of artificial intelligence that are suddenly being pushed like it's a magic bullet, Kevin.
No, Eddie.
I see a lot of this, but look here. Look at this, Kevin. This is bad here.
In health news this morning, a new study finds flavored vapes release more than 100 toxic chemicals when they're inhaled, and they're popular. Researchers used AI to predict the new compounds for.
They didn't actually use an actual, mass spectrometer. They used an AI. They plug in some information and say, AI, what's going to happen here? What could happen here?
Okay,
and
so
you and I know that depending on the calculations of temperature, whatever, is going to affect what outgasses.
I'll be the student that does raise their hand in class, as I've said before. I have a question. So, is AI similar or simulating, or what they find on the internet, or is it some shithead punching in numbers and facts alleged into the AI? Is it both?
I would assume. Now, when you were in high school chemistry, Kevin, you would get your you'd get your scientific calculator out here.
Not me.
And
wasn't me. You would hypothetically, yes.
You would type in weights and all this stuff, and you would the calculator would tell you stuff. I did see Mike Peterson showed up there with his
the voice of choice.
The voice of Mike Peterson. But
right,
it's extrapolating what it thinks is going to happen.
What it already has, and then okay.
So it's going to feed it's going to these AIs are sent out on a mission to absorb specific stuff off the internet to increase its own intelligence.
Oh, good Christ. We're all in trouble. We're all in deep, deep shit.
If you tell it to go to a scientific journal website and absorb all of the journal articles about X, Y, or Z, it's going to absorb that data, and then it's going to use all of the data that it's absorbed as its knowledge base to extrapolate what it thinks is going to happen. But then again, if all the studies that it's absorbing are poorly designed studies, then the results are going to be poorly designed results.
Well, part two of the same question. Then, if I put out bottle caps are bad for you, and it gets 1 billion views, that will be the source that it grabs first. Is why I'm asking the question.
I don't know about that
because
Kevin.
The algorithm.
Because I'm assuming that it's been sent out to absorb. Like, there are AIs. We read articles. There is at least one AI that I've read an article about that has essentially absorbed everything on the internet.
Well, then I could almost, maybe, possibly, could trust that.
I wouldn't.
I don't think I will. I don't know.
Because half the shit on the internet's porn, and the other half is misinformation. So, if it was me and I was sending it out, I would want to feed it in the best, highest quality data. Now, the other thing is if there's a textbook that's done in electronic format, it absorbs those too. So, if they pull out a horrible textbook that's written by a shithead that has an agenda.
I guess my point is a politician can sit in front of Caliph, and Caliph can say, "Well, we've got this AI, and it tells us the same thing. It's 90% kids are vaping. That's got to be true, because I got it on the internet. Only now I got it on AI. So you're creating the thought process of a normal chucklehead to go, well, AI is it's never going to lie. It's never going to manipulate it. No, that's the problem."
Garbage in, garbage out, Kevin.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not the only guy that thinks, well, wait a minute. What about? So hopefully I answered a question that somebody else may have had.
What do you mean? You're not the only guy that I didn't know that you actually thought.
Well, I don't really much, but
formed when 180 different flavoring chemicals are heated. They found dozens of
180 chemicals, Kevin. Did they put all 180? I mean, is that part of the calculation? Is they just said, okay?
Well, I just can't get out of bed without.
We've got all 108. Let's put all 180 of these chemicals into the thing. Let's burn it at 1,000 degrees, and you tell me what you think is going to come out. Yeah,
I need my 180.
Hazardous chemicals known to pose health risks. Researchers say more regulation is needed on flavored vaping products.
Well, it is.
In health news.
So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of scary. Just the fact that they're using artificial intelligence as some sort of like expert witness in this situation, Kem. But here's the actual. That was a little short news story. Here's the actual. Yeah. Here's a paper, or here's an article on the paper. Let's just look at this for a second or two.
I'm ready.
So it says here, AI simulation of flavored vape reactions reveals formation of many hazardous chemicals. It doesn't reveal shit, Kevin. It hypothesizes, because this is not. It didn't do anything. They didn't actually do any of the experiments.
No.
They ran it through a computer who guessed what it thought would happen.
Right.
Just because the results come from a computer does not lend it any more authority than if a human had done it at a mass spectrometer manually.
Yeah.
So new research has uncovered the potentially harmful substances that are produced when e-liquids and vape devices are heated for inhalation. The study, published in Scientific Reports, highlights the urgent need for public health policies concerning flavor vapes. Again, extrapolation does not mean fact. This is a guess. This is a computer guessing. This is not actual manual science.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. And it's not even news. It wouldn't be news. I mean, obviously, I'm already disappointed because this was done in Ireland. My Irish brothers and sisters, what are you drinking? I'm telling you. But yeah, I'm not even reading the whole thing. I'm just.
Wait a minute. What are they not drinking?
Yeah. So it says here, the analysis revealed the formation of many hazardous chemicals, including 127. Which are classified as acute toxic, 153 as health hazards, and 225 that are irritants. Well, this is irritating me.
There you go.
So, again, garbage in, garbage out, Kev. If this is, at least it's not a hat ad. It's an eBay ad. It's because I'm not wearing I'm not wearing the hat, Kevin.
All right.
Yeah, this cocktail of chemicals primarily derived from the food industry, where they have good safety record for specific uses, were never intended to be heated at high temperatures for inhalation. Well, Kevin, I vape at very low wattage. Low wattage. I don't think obviously, I'm not going to reach down and touch my heating coil with my bare finger.
Don't touch anything while you're on camera.
Well, when I think about you, I touch my...
Stop it.
But I saw this, Kevin. I was just like, this is irritating to me. This is ridiculous to me. This is stupidity to me. This is an embarrassment. An embarrassment.
Yeah.
To my Irish brothers and sisters that performed this bullshit study.
Well, there you go.
Now, Kev, I have two volatile pieces of video to play. Now, one of them I can play on this channel because I stole it from YouTube. So I know that I can replay it and we can talk about it. It does not directly have anything to do with vaping, but it does have to do with the dumbing down of academia, the dumbing down of the general populace, and how easy it is for people, humans, Americans, to be brainwashed and controlled.
Well, yeah.
So the second rather lengthy video, I am not going to play it on here because it has some references to the thing that happened with the virus and that I don't want to play here, even though I did steal it from here. But I don't want to be the one. I don't want to lose my channel because I did that. So I'm going to play you a video of a what's it called when a person changes their fealty from one country to the next? Defector. A KGB defector who in 1984 was interviewed on TV, and he sort of he revealed how the KGB use different constructs, different mental things they do to people to turn them, and to how they're using that to destroy nations and countries by making people stupid. So we're going to watch this for a minute.
Several times before about ideological subversion. That is a phrase that I'm afraid some Americans don't fully understand. When the Soviets use the phrase ideological subversion, what do they mean by it?
Ideological subversion is the process which is legitimate, overt, and open. You can see it with your own eyes. All you have to do, all American mass media has to do, is to unplug their bananas from their ears.
American mass media. And this is 1984, Kevin.
You Americans are stupid.
To pull the media needs to pull the bananas out of. I mean, he's already in 1984.
That's just the way it was, and that's still the way it
Pointing
is.
out that the media is already under control of bad actors. Right?
Open up their eyes and they can see it. There is no mystery. There is nothing to do with espionage. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy.
So, I think, Kevin, that big pharma and public health / tobacco control, I think that they hired ex-KGB guys to teach them how to manipulate people. Because these are the same tactics that they use
them to do as they're told.
To take people who, in my opinion, probably really did care about trying to help people quit smoking.
I believe some
and turn them into brainwashed zombies.
Yeah. I believe some people in that industry are genuine, and most of them are not.
Yeah, but
as polite as I can be.
Yeah, let's keep going.
In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism. The result you can see. Most of the people who graduated in the 60s, dropouts or half-baked intellectuals, are now occupying the positions of power in the government, civil service, business, mass media, educational system. You are stuck with them. You cannot get rid of them. They are contaminated. They are programmed to think and react to certain stimuli in a certain pattern. You cannot change their mind, even if you expose them to authentic information, even if
you can't change their mind, even if you expose them to authentic information.
Boy, don't that hit home, right?
You prove that white is white and black is black, you still cannot change the basic perception and the logic of behavior. In other words, these people, the process of demoralization is complete and irreversible. To get rid society of these people, you need another 20 or 15 years to educate a new generation of patriotically minded and common sense people.
So it took 15 to 20 years to destroy the brains of the people that are now in control. And you're going to need another 15 or 20 years to educate and fix the problem. So that they actually understand and believe that science is good and that misinformation is bad.
Who would be acting in favor and in the interests of the United States society. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already. For the last 25 years. Actually, it's overfulfilled because demoralization now reaches such areas where previously not even Comrade Andropov and all his experts would even dream of such a tremendous success. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. As I mentioned before, exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camps.
Now, again, this is about, KGB, trying to take over and infect America with communism or socialist or whatever. But you can see the same tactics have been used to re-educate and control people in our areas.
We just went through this for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
People are waterboarding each other. They don't have to do it.
It doesn't matter how much science you provide them, how much they deny it. They will not admit.
I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
He will refuse to believe it until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom.
Now, a kick in the fat bottom. I do not suggest that anybody go out and physically kick any of these anti-vaping people in their fat bottoms. I'm just telling you right now.
You'd need some big shoes for a couple of them. But anyway.
The funny thing is, now again, Kevin, this video is about socialism being normalized in America. That
gaslighting. This is covering a lot.
Even if we're talking about that specific topic today, right now, you have young people protesting that they want to become a socialist country. Mm-hmm. They're pushing. You see this. But the funny thing is it's not in this clip. It's not in this part of the. But he's talking about the tactics that and they employed these tactics in countries to cause them to become in Cuba, in Central and South America, in Vietnam, all these things. And the guy asked him, he says, well, what happens to those people that you've turned and who go to their home countries and are successful at turning the country for you? He said, oh, they're the first ones against the wall they're going to be the first ones that go because they're no longer useful to us. Mm-hmm. So all these people that have turned, denying the science on vaping, denying the science on harm reduction, denying the benefits of nicotine or whatever, they're going to be the first ones that get left out to dry when this is done and over with. The new regimes are going to come in and say, well, we don't need you anymore. You're done.
When a military boot crashes then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragic of the situation of demoralization. So basically America is stuck with demoralization, and unless, even if you start right now, here, this minute, you start educating new generation of Americans, it will still take you 15 to 20 years to turn the tide of ideological perception of reality back to normalcy and patriotism. The next stage is destabilization. This time, subverter does not care about your ideas and the patterns of your consumption. Whether you eat junk food and get fat and flabby, doesn't matter anymore. This time, and it takes only from 2 to 5 years to destabilize a nation, what matters is essentials: economy, foreign relations, defense systems. And you can see it quite clearly that in some areas.
So if you replace all of that military stuff that he's talking about with CDC, WHO, FDA, you get the idea? Like all of this is, part one of the playbook right here. The part two of the playbook is going to be on the Rumble.
In such sensitive areas as defense and economy. The influence of Marxist-Leninist ideas in the United States is absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So, I fell into a little rabbit hole, but I found that video. I saw it. It was on somebody had taken a clip of it and made like a YouTube short of it. And then I went and found the full hour-long interview and watched it and found the clips that it just blew my mind. I'm like, This is what has been done to us, to America, when it just comes to the pushing of the ideology in public health. I mean, you can take away all of the communist imagery and just talk about the tactics. And you see
propaganda.
You see how it has worked, though. I mean,
well, of course. I give people the idea that I can, or anybody can choose, free will, choose to smoke cigarettes or vape or drink or do drugs, whatever they do. So I give them the theory in my head of seatbelts and helmets. Pretty much everywhere, seatbelts are law. You can get fined and ticketed. They do seatbelt coups here. They go looking for people not wearing their seatbelts on occasion. And they announce it just like they do the DUI checkpoints. Now, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't wear a seatbelt. I know that it's safer. It can be. I also know someone that died with one on. So you do you. You have a choice. Same thing with a helmet. You want to go crack your coconut? Don't wear a helmet. But it's required by law in some states. I don't know all.
Not all states.
I don't think it is all. And I think it's a personal choice to go crack your coconut. It's up to you.
Now,
I don't care.
I actually have a thing about I have a short little story about the helmet thing.
Good.
So when I lived in Pennsylvania, it's not, at the time at least, it was not the law that you had to wear a helmet. Now, at the time, there was and I am not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I hated the Pittsburgh Steelers. Still hate the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even when I lived in Pennsylvania, hated the Steelers. But they had a piece of shit quarterback.
Okay.
Who he was the franchise at the time. He was the franchise, the highest paid player on the team. He was, the hero of thousands of, little kids, even though there were allegations that him and his bodyguards forced a young lady into a nightclub bathroom and he raped her. In this particular case, I believe the girl. I try to believe the girl in most cases. But people still thought he was better than, he was the guy. Right. And he had, when he made money, he bought himself a Harley, and the coach and the team, it was in his contract that he had to wear a helmet while he was on his bike. But he thought he was so awesome that he didn't have to. Yep. And he was in an accident and got a concussion and missed like 3 games because he had a concussion. And, you do you have the choice to make choices. But when your choice affects the livelihood of an entire team of professional football athletes.
Now it's a contract. Now it's
there's a fucking lot of money at stake. And he,
did he pay?
He didn't pay. They let him, and I'm just like,
oh, they let him go.
No punishment at all, and they lost like 3 games when he was gone. And the rest of the team, they fucking lose money when they lose games.
Did he become the hero again though?
Oh yeah, people just loved him. I love sports. Don't get me wrong, but I don't hero worship any fucking athletes.
So. No, I don't either. I don't even understand that part. Like it gives the officer, and again, I'm not anti-police, and neither is Patrick. We both know that, and so does everybody else.
I love good cops, not.
I know a few, and I've known a few who were, and they give an excuse for an interaction that isn't necessary.
Actually, I got pulled over this week, Kevin, and I had a very good. I had a very good interaction with a young police officer.
Good. Excellent.
Apparently, I was on a road. I was on the way to a patient's home. I was 2 stop signs away from the patient's home, and I was at a right turn at a stoplight or stop sign, and there was nobody coming, and there was nobody. It was a 4-way stop. There was nobody at any of the other signs. Apparently, I did a California rolling stop instead of a full stop. So I turn, the police officer turns his lights on. Apparently he was behind me and I didn't even see him.
Right.
he pulled me over. He came over to the window and he said, I pulled you over because you didn't stop at that stop sign. And I'm like, oh, I didn't. And he said, not to a complete stop, you didn't. I was like, oh, shit. And I already had my driver's license out. And he said, look, he said, if I run your tags and I run your license and there's nothing, I'm just, let you off with a warning. But, I just want you to know, please stop at the stop signs. So he comes back and he makes a joke about how my driving record is spotless and hands me the ticket and says, go about your day. You're going to receive a text message with the results of this stop, which is just going to be a warning. And you're going to receive another text message that, asks you your opinion of the stop.
I don't like that, but all right.
So that you can review the police stop.
No, I don't like them having my phone number. All right, keep going.
Well, in Texas, if you have a driver's license, they have your phone number.
Oh, good God.
Yeah. Wow. It's part of the new, if you have the new Real ID, the new nationally required.
I don't fly.
No. It's called a Real ID. It's when you drive.
Yeah.
The new national driver's license rules require you go get fingerprinted. You have to confirm. Yes, you have to bring.
What?
Yes, when you renew your license.
Oh Lord!
When you renew your license, I had to make right? You have to make an appointment. You have to go to the place. They require that you bring your birth certificate to prove that you were born. They require that you bring some sort of documentation that has your address on it and your name. And they
is this for our own good?
Well,
is it for my own good?
It's to make sure that now your driver's license, when they swipe your driver's license, it has all of that information encoded on your driver's license.
So it's for my own good then, is what you're telling me. And
yes,
I don't like that. I don't like you telling me that.
You're going to be a member of the National Fingerprint Database.
They've already got my fingerprints.
Well, but this is the new Real ID requirement by the federal government.
I don't have to renew mine until December, so we'll find out how bad this is going to go.
Yeah.
Can I opt out of it?
No, it's federal law. If you're driving, you have to. If you're driving on roads in the country,
oh good Lord,
it has been passed by all 50 states.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
all right,
you didn't know
how
that?
long has it been around? No,
it just passed like last year or the year before, something like that.
Well, that's why I didn't do it yet. All right, I'm not going to enjoy that. Right.
I had to go and I was there for like, it only took 30 minutes.
For my carry license, I had to be fingerprinted. I understood that. I get it. When I was in security, I was fingerprinted. I understood that. When I was driving a taxi, believe it or not, some taxi drivers are not above board and they do evil things, and they've been arrested for breaking into people's houses after they took them to the airport.
Yeah,
so
Michelle,
you get licensed.
Michelle says that it didn't require her birth certificate, but she had to bring her passport when she went.
I don't have a passport either. I thought that was for the national. You get on the airplane quicker. Thing,
no,
not the license.
That's a completely different thing, Kevin.
I don't like you even less now. I didn't know it was possible.
How did you not know this?
I don't pay attention. I don't care.
I think I did a fucking story on it a long time
I thought my fellow Americans would not allow shit like that to happen. That would piss me off.
They elected people
clearly I was wrong.
I think when it passed, Congress was all leftists. I think so.
Every one of you. Where's my camera? There it is.
Yeah. You're
good Lord.
You don't need
I'll let
papers
you know in December.
So they're not going to ask you for your papers. They're going to ask you for your card because it's all electronic. They swipe your ID.
That is where I was going.
Everything about you comes up when you go whoop with your thing.
Papers, please. Oh, we just need your license, sir. We know everything about you now. What is your blood type again? Oh, there it is.
It's all there. Whether you're an organ donor and all that shit.
You should have worn your seatbelt, Mr. Crowley. You should have.
But Kevin.
What?
It's time for us to go from here to there.
Recording ways this early? Wow.
We're going to go to the. See, you were whining about how long it was going to take and yada yada yada. So
I guess
anyway,
it's finger time.
we want you all because the real juicy stuff, Kevin, is gonna be over on the Rumbles. So I'm not. I'm going to put just to make sure that everybody can find just that if you're not already following us on the Rumble, here is the link for the show on the Rumble. It's the same show as tonight's show.
For the record, everybody can make more fun of me, and I can't respond on Rumbles.
Neither can I, though. Not unless you open a Rumble window and you respond. Yep.
Nope,
so otherwise, yeah, I can highlight their comments in Rumble, but I cannot comment in the Rumble.
Make some noise, people. Make some noise.
We want you to, because the really good part of the playbook is on the next video, which I can't show here. So we're going to go over
I'm telling you, if I'm here after 1 o'clock, I'm going to get a raise. That's all I'm saying.
You probably won't be that late, Kevin. I think we can knock the last 3 pieces out. Omicidal is it's actually 4 pieces. Omicidal is already over in the Rumbles. There are other people. I see the number increasing a little bit. So we're going to go to the Rumbles. Kevin, do you need to go get coffee?
I got an empty cup. What the hell is wrong with you? Are you nuts? What's going on?
I actually have my refill with me, so I don't have to go anywhere. But I will give you 2 minutes and 35 seconds.
I'll get back here when I'm back. You'll be all right.
Don't be a big baby. All right. We'll see.
Exactly.
Love. If you don't come over there, I do love you, but I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be disappointed if you don't go to the Rumble. I'm just saying. But anyway, we'll see you. We'll see you in just a few. I'm pulling to Kevin. I'm pointing at the camera. Yep.
Science is back, and I choose science over fiction. And so if the science is demonstrated it's doing great damage, then I don't care what it does to a small business person who's selling this stuff. If it is damaging lungs, if it's causing the kind of damage that is said, and that study's not been fully done yet, if it turns out that it is, then I would eliminate it. I would make it, I would go after it in a hard way. I would make it broader, not just for he is.
If we get asked a specific question by a teen, either a direct message to us or via social media about the relative harms of vaping versus cigarettes, we try to be as clear as possible that if your comparator is a cigarette, vaping is less harmful.
In England, the Royal College of Physicians has apparently done a great deal of research on e-cigarettes, and they have actually found that compared to smoking cigarettes, the rate of damage from e-cigarettes is 5% of what it is from smoking traditional cigarettes. You're reducing the damage by 95%. Hey, I don't think vaping or e-cigarettes are good for you. But if you have to choose between smoking and vaping, I happen to feel that vaping is safer. I don't think vaping is good for you, but it's better than smoking.
We're going to choose science over fiction.
And FDA has not used that terminology to use the most recent estimates of youth use. I will say that I'm an epidemiologist by training, so I'm fully cognizant of the definition of an epidemic, which is unprecedented increases over what you'd expect at baseline. That said, I think and know that the science has shown a decline in the number of youth users, and that's a good thing.
The FDA today calling it a dangerous epidemic.
The FDA calls teen vaping an epidemic.
I don't care